Lori Vallow Dateline. Where are the charges? Now, that should have been the title of the most recent Dateline episode on Lori Vallow, which I will be discussing in this episode. So, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell, so you get notification each time I upload. So, after all the drama of my last episode, I decided to do a part 2. This audio will be a lot clearer all the way through, and I do apologize for the audio problems that people were having with my last episode. So, by the way, I want to thank all the people who have been listening to my podcasts. That includes subscribers and non-subscribers. The first episode of the Lori Vallow Podcast that I posted, titled, "Is It True Crime or True Madness?" is steadily on the way to 1,000 views, and it has 53 watch time hours so far. I've only been posting on this channel for a few weeks, so it will be a small milestone for me. Thanks for your support. I'm going to get to the point. I'm very disappointed that Lori and Chad still haven't been charged with murder or murder for hire. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. When you look at this case objectively, you look at the whole picture and you realize that these kids had been buried in Chad Daybell's backyard from September 2019, and Lori and Chad were having a grand time in Kauai, dancing on the beach, kissing, holding hands, sunbathing. It really is a great injustice, and they might as well have been dancing on the graves of those children. On September 24th, Lori called JJ's school and told his teachers he would no longer be attending. This is after he was dead and buried in Chad's backyard, so he couldn't attend. But who does that remind you of? Chris Watts did the same thing. He called his daughter's school to say that his kids won't be attending. So we see similar behavior patterns with these sociopaths. The lies, the deceit, the cover-up, the explanations that don't make any sense, the lying about lying, the mysterious texts that Lori was sending pretending to be Tylee. Lori was sending texts to her son Colby pretending to be Tylee. Every time Colby tried to get in contact with Tylee after September, she was either too busy to talk or MIA. Now, Chad and Lori were married in November 2019. They fled to Kauai after the welfare check. After she had lied about the whereabouts of JJ, no one even knew that Tylee was also deceased at this point. And I just want to comment also on the hypocrisy of the affair. You know, they claim to be religious, ostensibly upstanding Mormon people, and yet Lori and Chad were having an affair which is forbidden in the Mormon church. Lori's mother condemned Charles for having an affair, and really it was Lori, her daughter, who was cheating on Charles, her husband, and yet her mother said nothing about that. Oh, how convenient. So there's a lot of hypocrisy within that family. So from September to January, about 4 months after the children were deceased, Lori Vallow had still not served any punishment for the murder of her husband, and no one knew where the children were for 4 months. She continued spinning this lie about protecting them. I live in the UK and we don't get Dateline over here, at least not the recent episodes. So I get my episodes online, and there is this guy that uploads all the recent episodes for me. So I have all the Dateline episodes. I've been watching Dateline for years online. Keith Morrison is the greatest narrator in the world, in my opinion. But the recent Dateline episode didn't give us any new information. It rehashed and retold all that we already knew. But I just want to say something about Melanie Gibb. Now, lots of people are criticizing her, but I don't think she was involved in this at all. As far as I'm concerned, she's not the criminal here. There's no evidence that she was involved. in anything other than being naive and brainwashed. And I think there was love bombing going on as well, to be drawn into this cult, made to feel as if she was one of those chosen ones, preparing for the end of times. Lori Vallow is the criminal mastermind here. She's wicked, she's cold, extremely cruel and manipulative, and highly deceitful. I don't think Melanie Gibb is a wicked person at all. She might not be perfect, but it was actually after her first interview that I realized that the kids were likely to be no more. It didn't make any sense for them to be alive. Tylee was 17. She could have called someone, as Melanie rightly said. She didn't call anyone for months, and no one had seen her. I do understand the disdain for Melanie Pawlowski. I'm still trying to figure her out. She never answers questions. She's vague. She's flat as a pancake in terms of emotion. And I just don't believe her at all. She's not credible. Either she's completely deluded and brainwashed, or she knows a lot more than what she claims to know. And I think it's the latter. But for people who are saying Melanie Pawlowski is going to be charged, I'm not sure I believe that. Lori and Chad have not been charged with murder, even though all the evidence is there tying them to this crime. But what really proves Lori's involvement is her lies and her deceit, continuing to spin the story that Kay was threatening her and claiming she was protecting the children because of these threats, when she hadn't heard from her children since September because they were deceased. And she knew full well they were deceased. And that's why Kay was concerned and ordered the welfare check. You know, I hope by the time I upload this episode that there will be murder charges. I'm getting really concerned that they're going to get away with it. It's not good enough that they are just in jail. They need to be charged.